An update now on the stabbing death of a bodega worker in Upper Manhattan. Police have made an arrest in the case. 18-year-old Jose Penega has been charged with murder.
Tonight, an accused killer extradited across the country in the case of a Tinder date turned deadly.
Did the men on the train step in and protect this woman from a violent thug? Did someone bother yelling at him to stop, to show there was more of them than him? Well, no. The cowards watched as the terrified woman begged for help.
Bad guys no longer fear the police. They feel emboldened to do whatever they want. We hear this over and over again. The city's out of control, the city's out of control, the city's out of control. It's just not true.
Despite being a fictional story with fictional characters, the decision to base Scream 6 in New York City came as a surprise when it was revealed in 2022. The standard formula for this franchise was more leaned towards the suburban home intruder effect, an effect that had served as the main premises for the original movie in 1996. Upon watching Scream 6, it became apparent that a lot of the moments involving Ghostface felt more real than we'd seen previously. The setting of New York opened up several possibilities that provided a scarier experience than before, due to the feeling of not feeling safe in a hugely populated city. That feeling is all too familiar for the residents of New York City. Many of the scenes from Scream 6 incorporate elements of real-life crimes that have been committed in New York. Sadly, there are numerous instances where crimes are committed in New York in various locations, but there are some that draw direct parallels to the movies and how it sets up moments and characters in their specific scenes.
Police arrested a man who they say terrorized women he met on dating apps.
The common denominator in these two cases, one being a murder, one being a rape, is dating websites.
Samantha Stewart was a 29-year-old nurse who went to meet up with a Tinder date in 2018. He presented himself as a decent man initially, until eventually Samantha agreed to meet up with him, a decision that would prove fatal for the New York City nurse. Samantha was murdered by her Tinder date and left for dead, as her assailant fled the city with her credit cards. The parallel in Scream 6 is drawn to Laura, played by Samara Weaving, who was murdered by a Ghostface pretending to be a dating app date of hers. The results of this led to her death, in which the killer fled the scene and left her body to be found sometime later, similar to Samantha Stewart. In 2021, two men entered a bodega store in Brooklyn, New York City. The men were followed by an assailant who proceeded to launch a horrific attack in the store itself. The attack left the two men with multiple stab wounds and severe injuries in what was believed to be an LGBT+ attack. The parallel to this story in Scream 6 is within the bodega store scene, in which Ghostface follows Sam and Tara inside the bodega and proceeds to stab and shoot anyone who gets in his way as he attempts to attack the pair. The similarities in these stories is the way that the duo entered the bodega and were attacked in a manner that caused chaos within the store itself. With Sam and Tara being the main characters, both wouldn't be killed off on screen, so the casualties here were levelled at the individuals who attempted to stop Ghostface getting to them.
Tonight on That Woman Followed and Then Killed inside her own apartment in Chinatown. We've learned the victim's identity, 35-year-old Christina Yuna Lee. Eyewitness News has obtained security camera video from Lee's building showing her alleged killer follow her inside. Neighbors reported hearing screams and police found Lee dead in her apartment's bathroom. There is a vigil planned for her tomorrow morning. Eyewitness News reporter Naveen Dhaliwal has our story tonight.
On February 13, 2022, 35-year-old Christina Young Lee was followed home to her apartment in New York City, unbeknownst to her that she was being followed. As she entered her apartment on the 6th floor, a concealed man entered the apartment after her and launched a horrific attack against her, stabbing her 40 times and leaving her body as he fled the scene. The parallel to this very horrific crime is in the apartment attack in Scream 6. The core four are attacked in their apartment, which eventually results in Mindy's girlfriend Annika, played by Devin Nakoda, being stabbed viciously and ultimately dying, and being the only victim from that apartment attack in the movie.
News now out of New York City. There's been a shooting on the subway in Brooklyn. We know at least 13 people are hurt. Possibly 5 people have been shot. This video right here is just in of people running out of a train. You can see smoke in the background.
Yeah, the rampage reportedly started in a subway car. There are multiple crime scenes, and the gunman was allegedly seen wearing a gas mask.
ABC's Rena Roy is live outside the 36th Street station, the subway station there, with more. Rena.
On April 12, 2022, a mass shooting was committed on a subway train car. The incident involved a masked attacker concealing the train car with gas as he opened fire on whoever got in his way. Interestingly, nobody died, but many were injured from the incident. The parallel here is the subway attack scene, which saw Mindy Meeks Martin stabbed by a masked killer on a subway train, who managed to hide within plain sight due to the fact that the entire car was filled with people dressed in Halloween costumes. Mindy, like the victims of the car incident in 2022, survived her attack and managed to pull through with injuries from the ordeal. But the very real incident took place on a subway car. The scenario is terrifying. Where do you run or hide in that situation? The train can't just stop. The victims' stories of what occurred on that subway likely were inspiration for the scene, and the anxiety and terrifying experience was translated as such on screen within the movie. The setting of New York City opened up many possibilities for Ghostface to attack victims in Scream 6. Despite being a city that's admired by many, it's also a city in which being attacked in the open is all too easy and happens all too often, making this entry in the franchise one of the scariest to date in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching guys, and look out for more great Scream content on the way.